Welcome to Chasing Curiosity TV. Subscribe and press the bell icon for more updates. Subic Bay roars back. The U.S. inks a deal for the world's largest military base to counter China. The Philippines is set to host a massive weapons hub, marking a monumental shift in the Indo-Pacific. The United States isn't just returning, it's transforming Subic Bay into a state-of-the-art ammunition and logistics hub. The American pivot to Asia is no longer theory. It's being built in steel and concrete on the South China Sea. This is the most significant U.S.-Philippine development in a generation, designed to deter aggression and reinforce alliances. Subic Bay will become a nerve center for American and allied military power, fundamentally altering the region's strategic calculus. A powerful U.S.-backed military-industrial complex now sits on China's doorstep, sending ripples from Washington to Beijing. After decades of drawdown, the Philippines, under President Marcos Jr., has decisively realigned with Washington. The two nations are co-architects of a project that will reshape Southeast Asia's security architecture. Subic Bay is poised to be one of the world's largest and most advanced military-industrial facilities. This isn't just about troops or ships, it's about a self-sustaining ecosystem for weapons production and rapid deployment. The implications touch everything from military balances to local economies and Philippine sovereignty. The world is watching as Subic Bay is reborn, destined to play a central role in the great power competition of our time. To grasp today's significance, look to Subic Bay's storied past. For nearly a century, it was the linchpin of American naval power in Asia, supporting the U.S. 7th Fleet through major conflicts. At its peak, Subic was the largest overseas U.S. military installation, a bustling city of service members and families. Its closure in 1992 marked the end of an era and left a strategic void in the region. The bay's transformation into a free-port zone showcased Filipino resilience, but the strategic vacuum was felt as China's power grew. Subic's deepwater harbor and legendary ship repair facilities made it an ideal naval sanctuary. The return of a significant U.S. presence leverages a century of shared history and military experience. Today, the U.S. flag's return to Subic echoes that legacy, seen by supporters as a necessary correction for regional stability. Critics argue it's a step back toward dependency, but the base's legacy is the undeniable context for its revival. Subic's history now fuels its new role as a bastion of American power in the Indo-Pacific. The base's rebirth is both a nod to the past and a leap into a new era of strategic partnership. Every move at Subic is now imbued with historical weight and significance. The new Subic Bay is more than a reopened base. It's a logistics and munitions superhub for the Indo-Pacific. The vision, a center for manufacturing, stockpiling, and rapidly distributing critical military hardware, especially ammunition and missiles. This addresses the Pacific's vast distances and the challenge of sustaining conflict far from home. Pre-positioned supplies at Subic mean faster rearming and repairs in any crisis, especially over Taiwan or the South China Sea. The base becomes a strategic force multiplier, extending Allied endurance and effectiveness. U.S. and Philippine officials agree. Logistics is the ball game, and Subic is the ideal location. The hub will feature new infrastructure, munitions bunkers, shipyards, and secure networks, jointly operated by both nations. This deep integration creates a seamless operational environment, making the alliance more potent than ever. Subic Bay is designed not just to deter war, but to win one if deterrence fails. The facility is a game-changer for regional security and allied cooperation. Subic Bay's revival is a story of mutual interest. For the U.S., it's a cornerstone in countering China's influence and projecting power in the South China Sea. The base allows American forces to operate more flexibly and resiliently, supporting allies like Taiwan. For the Philippines, facing daily Chinese incursions, the base is a powerful deterrent and a tangible security guarantee. As one senator put it, this isn't about choosing sides, it's about choosing survival. The project strengthens the Mutual Defense Treaty and accelerates Philippine defense modernization. Technology transfer and co-production will help Manila build a more self-reliant military. Subic Bay enables the Philippines to move from one of the region's weakest militaries to a credible defense force. The partnership is symbiotic. The U.S. gains a strategic foothold. The Philippines gain security and economic stimulus. This alignment of interests makes the project viable and pragmatic. Subic Bay is where superpower strategy and frontline security converge. Beyond strategy, Subic Bay's revival is an economic lifeline for the Philippines, especially Olongapo. Thousands of high-quality jobs in shipbuilding, logistics, and manufacturing are expected. The local economy, stagnant since the U.S. left in 1992, is set for a new era of prosperity. Supporting businesses, housing, retail, transportation will flourish alongside the base. Filipino workers will gain advanced skills, building a high-tech labor pool for decades to come. This economic dividend helps secure domestic support, linking national security with real benefits. Subic Bay is being framed not just as a fortress, but as a beacon of economic progress for Filipinos. Beijing's reaction to Subic Bay's revival has been swift and severe. China condemns the move as a dangerous escalation and a relic of Cold War thinking. For Beijing, a massive U.S. military hub so close to its coast is a direct provocation and part of an encirclement strategy. Chinese media warn the Philippines risks becoming a pawn and a target in any future conflict. China is likely to increase its naval presence, raising regional tensions. The project solidifies geopolitical blocks, forcing Southeast Asian nations to navigate a polarized environment. The risk of miscalculation and escalation in the South China Sea is now higher. The Philippines gains a security shield, but also faces new risks and scrutiny. Subic Bay's revival brings new strategic risks, raising the stakes for all players in the Indo-Pacific drama. Not all Filipinos support the Subic Bay project. Nationalists and activists warn it could erode Philippine sovereignty and drag the nation into U.S. conflicts. Critics argue, "We are not America's armory. Hosting a war hub makes us a target." Concerns about social issues and past problems with U.S. bases resurface. Human rights groups urge a non-aligned foreign policy and diplomatic solutions with China. The debate is about the soul of Philippine foreign policy, sovereignty versus alliance. Supporters see the base as vital for defense. Critics see it as a surrender of autonomy. The path forward for Subic Bay will be politically contentious and closely watched. Subic Bay's revival reshapes the Indo-Pacific balance of power. The new logistics hub gives the U.S. and allies staying power in the Western Pacific, countering China's anti-access strategy. Allies like Japan, South Korea, and Australia welcome the move, seeing it as a boost to collective defense. The base makes mutual support in a crisis more credible and encourages deeper cooperation. For China, Subic complicates military planning and raises the cost of aggression. The facility's presence fuels a regional arms race and divides the Indo-Pacific into competing spheres. The region shifts from economic integration towards strategic competition. Subic Bay becomes a symbol of U.S. commitment to remain the preeminent Pacific power. The geopolitical chessboard is altered, with Subic now a key square influencing every major move. The new era is defined by competition, not ambiguity. Transforming Subic Bay marks a new, uncertain chapter for the Indo-Pacific. It's more than a base. It's a statement of intent and a direct challenge to China's ambitions. The project's success or failure will shape the region's future for decades. The U.S. and Philippines must balance construction, backlash from China, and domestic concerns. The Indo-Pacific's stability is crucial for global prosperity, and Subic Bay is now a focal point. The era of ambiguity is over. Competition for influence is intensifying. For the U.S., it's a bold Pacific reassertion. For the Philippines, a risky but potentially rewarding path. The world is watching as Subic Bay becomes the stage for the next chapter in the great power struggle.